Hello and welcome into the Shoujo-Verse. My name is Bees and I'm here with Samosa.
Hello.
Today we are going to be talking about one of our favorite recent series that we've been loving for how long? A
A
year?
while. A while.
A year and a half? It's Promised Cinderella.
It is by the mangaka Tachibana Urika, and it's being released in Shogakukan, or was released, it's completed. And it is now being licensed by Komiki.
Thank you, Kamiki, for picking this up so everyone can
Thank
enjoy
you,
it.
Komiki.
Done a wonderful thing. It's 110 chapters completed in Japan. We're on chapter 74 in English. It's already completed in
Almost there.
English, but it's only in Singapore.
Yeah, there's Shogakukan, Southeast Asia, which, come on. If you already translated it in English, just bring it here. You don't have to do any work.
Right. But at least we're finally getting it. So do you want to give a synopsis? Like a quick...
There's a lot that happened in the story. How would you even do a synopsis? Once upon a time, there was a lady named Hayame, and she got cheated on by her husband, and she does a bet with some high schooler, and then they fall in love. That makes it sound so bad.
Well, first of all, she does get divorced from her cheating husband. Let's put that one. And then she is broke because she got divorced, and then her purse is stolen, so she has zero money. So she's
No
living
choice.
she's living in the park for a little while, and she meets this high schooler.
But she met him before she was broke. She beat him. No, she didn't beat him up. They did some bet or something, and she humiliated him. And then he saw her in this situation where she's homeless, and he's like, haha, sucks to be you. Let's do another bet. And they start this game basically where he bets with her. She accidentally breaks something, like a scroll. It's worth a ton of money.
Yeah.
So the bet ends up going... Basically becomes like Oran High School. Kind of.
Yeah, so she has to basically play a bunch of games, which are centered around... Would you say humiliation? Or just...
Some of them are pretty chill. Some of them are that's really mean.
Yeah. But...
one of the games was taking a picture in a haunted school. Yeah, I think it was a school, right? Or a haunted hotel or something like that. And then that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And then the other time is take a picture of your husband meeting the ex, or ex-husband meeting the woman he's cheating with.
Right.
It goes from from pretty chill to pretty high.
Yeah, but as they play this game, and she's playing the game to earn money, because he's if you do this, you'll earn this much money to pay back. Obviously, a relationship forms, and romance happens.
But not really. Nothing's really happened yet, so don't get on your horses just now.
Right.
Hold your horses.
How old is...
He starts to... He's 17, 18. He's almost about I think he's supposed to be studying or something. I remember reading that.
He is in high school, yeah.
Yeah, he's a junior or senior in high school.
How old is Hayame? Is she in her 30s?
I know she's 10 years older than him, right?
So she's at
27.
Least, yeah.
Since I remember, there was because he has a brother, right? The brother was the same age as her.
Yes.
And they have a 10-year age gap.
Yes.
So there's a 10 years age gap, but
but
I know we always say oh, there's no exceptions to do, and but come on, there's always the exceptions.
One of the main reasons that I like the story is because it flips the power dynamic so many times. Reading this originally, you're oh, the older woman clearly has more power over the younger. In their relationship dynamic, she would have more power. But he is also from a rich family, so he has more money than her, and she lives with him, so he has that power over her. But then he doesn't actually, because he's a simp. That's just what it is.
He falls first. He's head over heels.
But he's definitely like a hard tsundere.
Yeah, very, very, like, tough nut to crack.
Yeah, and in some cases he does go a little too far with like the no, I don't like you. I'm going to prove that I don't like you by being mean to you. And he is like actually really mean to her. But Hayame is a great main character because she actually has a spine. Unlike so many characters in shoujo, she will stand up for herself and be like, hey, why the hell did you just say that to me? And he's like,
especially when he's like being mopey or whatever, she knows how to handle him. She's like, okay, whatever.
yeah.
You can go be a mopey high schooler. I also like how he grows from it. Like, he doesn't keep on being like an annoying, like, he doesn't keep on repeating the same mistakes. He like grows from it.
He does.
And you don't really see that a lot of times with like tsundere characters. They just repeat the cycle of being like mean and then going back to being nice and then going back to being mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also really like how like, you said she has a spine, and I think like you see some flashback scenes throughout the series of her being in high school and like and she's always been like a tough person like because of her family background. I think like her mom either ran away or died. I don't remember exactly.
Maybe at this point we should say abusive. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
She comes from a poor family. Like her dad, and her dad would always abuse her. He'd steal her money that she earned from like working part-time. She ends up leaving him though when she's like probably like 19 or 20. But I'm glad I mean, it's not a tough, easy decision to make.
Yeah.
And they do like they don't really make it seem like, oh, she's gonna leave the dad. They show her like struggle with it too, which is really cool. Since you don't really think like, okay, the student or like this age gap relationship is gonna like a manga's gonna show that kind of thing, but it did.
Yeah, and it was. I feel like
all the characters are so complex.
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them, not no. Yeah.
The
cheating husband is annoying throughout the series.
Yeah. But at the very least, he is like, yeah, I made a mistake, and I think he does say he's sorry.
No, but he does, but he wasn't going to. Like, he only did it because he got caught.
True.
And he couldn't lie about it.
Yeah. I think this is the point where we're gonna go into spoilers. So if you want to read this story not knowing anything, I highly recommend it. The art also is amazing.
It's really good.
If you want to see some good, like, slaps, some punches, they feel so good when that...
Bitch slaps are so good.
Yeah. When you're just like, please just punch this dude, and then she does, it's so good. But I think...
Okay, we can start going into the main villain, I guess. Villain in quotation marks.
Yeah, at least
She's
for
annoying.
It's for the majority of like the first half, I think. What's her name? We just wrote it down.
Akira Kagami.
Yes, her.
She had another name too. She had an alias. I don't remember what that is. I'm sorry. But her high school name her original name was Akira Kagami. And she changed it because she wanted to become a new person. Kind of similar, like a ugly girl in high school has bad low esteem, mom is abusive, favors other sibling kind of thing. But
is bullied.
Is bullied, yeah. Instead of like growing from it or being normal, she decides to start stealing or starts to try to get back at everybody. Which, I mean, kudos to her, like, go for all the revenge. I'm all for that. But don't bring in, like, random people who aren't even involved.
Right. Basically what happens is Kagami...
It's complicated.
Yeah. She is in high school and she's bullied because she is ugly.
Yeah, she's very ugly.
Seigo,
she has an ugly heart, too.
Yeah, Seigo, who is Issei's older brother, is the only person that's nice to her, basically. So she becomes
But
like,
he's nice to everybody.
he is,
He's
but
like
she becomes,
he's a very like sociable person.
yeah, and she becomes obsessed with him, basically,
Mm-hmm.
making him happy. So
Mm-hmm.
Seigo and Hayame don't go to the same school, but they do meet, and he has a crush on her, and so she's like, at first I think she's supporting it, because clearly he's happy with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just like devolves into straight up obsession.
Mental illness.
Yes. And then she gets hit by a truck, right? And he feels, somehow he's involved with that. He feels like he's to blame, so he pays for her hospital bills.
Yeah, she gets like a scar. It's like she gets a scar from it on her face or something too.
Yeah, and then she gets plastic surgery, and she's beautiful.
And she got dentures, probably.
Probably. We have decided she probably got dentures.
So, like, when they drew her out to look ugly, right? She has, like, 5 teeth. I'm not kidding. They just gave her, like, 5 teeth in random spots in her face. And then when she's, like, pretty, right? She's, like, your typical, like, Japanese, like, long-haired beauty type person. What's it called? Not Sadako. You know the word I'm thinking of?
No?
No, like, you know, like like the word they use for like the Japanese beauty. Okay, yeah. It is Yamato Nadeshiko. I was right. It's also a manga. Shichi Henjei. It's a really good manga. I recommend it. They also have an anime. But back on topic. Yamato Nadeshiko means like the idealized Japanese woman, where she's like feminine, pure, like that kind of thing.
I feel like I've seen that
Like,
before.
it's a very common trope. It's like, you know, where like there's a lot of characters. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but they always have like the bangs, the straight bangs.
Oh, so that's like all of them?
Yeah, literally, like the straight bangs, like the classy looking Japanese woman.
Yeah, so that's what she looks like now.
Embodies.
Yeah, that's what she looks like and embodies after her plastic surgery. But she's still, like, obsessed with him to a very unhealthy point.
It lasts too long.
Yeah, to the point where she will physically harm people that come close to him or are mean to him. Like, there's that one girl in high school that bullied her that she burnt with cigarettes on her face.
Oh, but yeah, she also became a sex worker to save money for the plastic surgery. That's a key point to mention. And
Yes.
so when the brother finds her again after like she became like this, he feels really bad.
Yes, and then I'm pretty sure he sleeps with her too.
No, yeah, for sure, 100%.
But not out of like, I want to be in a relationship, more like out of obligation almost.
It's weird. I think he was horny. It's high school. I mean, he's a guy. I guess that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
I feel like if the mangaka really wanted to push like the brother route, right? They probably, or like the older brother route, since he liked the female lead from the beginning. Like that's the main thing. Like he and the female lead like were mutually in love. They came from like different environments. She was like a gangster type high schooler, and he was like a prep school kid basically. And they came from like different worlds. And that's how they bonded and became friends. And then he wanted to, like, he confessed to her, but because I forgot the reason why. It was, she didn't want to leave her dad, right?
Yes.
Or something like that. Like, he was gonna save her, but they ended up not doing anything. And nothing ends up happening with this relationship until even when they meet later on, she realizes she doesn't like him anymore. But he does.
Yeah.
But she's moved on.
So the two, like, I would say like the first half, the main, it is a love triangle between the younger brother, the older brother, and Hayame. Hayame, who is like, I think of the older brother as a friend. He was a very good friend when I was younger, but he's still got feelings. And then I just got divorced, and there's this younger brother who's got a crush on me, but I'm like way older than him, and she is very uncomfortable with like the age gap between them.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you should be with someone who is your age. I'm old and washed up, which she's not. Let's make that clear. She's not. But it's the whole dynamic is like, I feel like it's done.
She's never in a position of power where she's grooming him at all.
No.
And I think that makes a key difference. It's not like Usagi Drop where he literally raised her. The worst. The absolute worst. They could have just stopped it there, but no, they had to make it a romance.
Ew. I'm cringing just thinking about it.
The worst. And the people, you know what I hate about Usagi Drop? This is a tangent, but anytime I look up, like, or, like, if you go on AniList or, like, any, like, section where, like, recommending, like, family-based romance, or, like, not romance, it's family-based, like, manga, right, slice of lives, they always include Usagi Drop without knowing the manga ending. I'm so happy the anime didn't even show that. It just stopped at the kid being, like, his daughter.
Good, as it should have stopped.
Yeah, honestly. I wonder what, like, she had a good childhood friend available too that could have been, like, her male lead, but no, she had to fall in love with an old man. And they were trying to make it, like, genetics or too, something like that, because apparently the mom also liked older men.
What?
Because she had... Yeah, because, like, the mom was into, like, his grandpa, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
anyway,
that doesn't
Drop
happen.
is trash.
That doesn't happen in Promise Cinderella. There's no grooming. The only thing is, I think she's a really good role model for Issei, because he is, as we mentioned, kind of a brat, kind of a piece of shit, kind of rude. But then she stands up for herself and is like, "Yo, stop!" And he's like, "Oh, maybe I should stop because this woman that I like doesn't like it." She said.
He's so simple. I love it.
I mean, that's really what happens.
No, literally.
She said, I can fix him, and she does.
No, she really did.
I mean, he's still definitely a Cinderella.
No, you know what she said? I don't want to fix him, and he fixed himself.
Oh, you're right.
Because he won.
But the older brother, he was a nice guy. He really was. But she just didn't.
He was honestly didn't love him anymore.
Yeah. But they did work it out eventually. After Crazy Bitch decided to fucking push her off a cliff and, like, try to actually kill her.
She also tried to kill the Issei too, the male lead.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why? Every single time she appeared, it's always like, why? Okay, you were bullied. Okay. You're gonna do plastic surgery. Okay, you're gonna become a sex worker now to make money off of it. Okay, you are going to sleep with the other brother. Okay. Well, the older brother. Okay, and then to get back at the older brother's first love, you're going to steal the female lead's husband, who's also your childhood friend, who knows you from before, and who liked you when you were... ugly.
Yeah, if in case we didn't mention it, Crazy Bitch was the one who was cheating, who made her husband cheat. Mm-hmm. She did that on purpose.
It's not really clear. At least with the older brother, you see, like, the hotel scenes, kind of, and them, like, making out. But with the husband, or ex-husband, you don't really see that. You just see her going into his room once, and, like, the lipstick in his bag. That's, like, the only time you really see it.
Yeah, it's
right?
implied. I think it was implied.
Yeah. Anyways, men suck. The only good kid in this entire series is Issei, because he didn't get seduced by her. That means he's the only male lead so far who, like, wasn't seduced by her.
You're right.
So Crazy Bitch.
You're right. What's with these men falling for crazy bitches?
No, literally.
I mean, that was kind of...
Like, even the older brother, he had, like, why? He could have just moved on. He didn't have to feel guilty about it.
But she was...
Or, like, he didn't have to sleep with her. He could have, like, given her money, and, like, that could have been the end of it.
I think this shows, like, how good at emotionally manipulating people she was, because that's that's what she did, was harass and manipulate
Emotional
people.
yeah.
And if
Should have done that onto her mom when her mom was being mean to her.
well, she didn't have the confidence back then because she was ugly.
That's true. She was, and she had 5 teeth. That would ruin anyone's confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mom was really mean to her too. So I guess if you've been hearing that since you were like a kid, it's hard to. What happens to the mom? They don't say, right? Does she ever, like, she just leaves home, right? That's all that happens?
I think so, yeah. Which I do think that manga has done a very good job of making every single character pretty complex. No, not really many one-note characters except for some side characters, like, and even them, there's like, they're more than just one gag, I think.
Like, even, like, Issei's, like, friends, right? Like high school friends, there's still, like, stuff going on with them.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just, like, Issei's friend. They have, like, other stuff going on, too. Like, his male friend, like, oh, he's sad because Issei's hanging out with this older woman now.
Yeah. I feel like it does a very good job of just, like, balancing everything. It just feels like a very well-rounded series.
It's a good series.
If I did have any one critique, it was that Crazy Bitch was too crazy. Like, she did all that stuff.
Yeah, literally.
She is, like, harassed people and, like, tried to kill people, kidnapped someone, basically, and they did not... She should have gone to jail, but she didn't.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. They just gave her back to the ex-husband, like, hey, you, take care of her.
Yeah, and then they went off and lived...
That's all they do.
Lived in the forest happily ever after. Which, like...
Literally.
I guess it was good to get both of them out of the picture so we know that they're not coming back, hopefully. Hopefully?
I don't think they are, yeah.
But still, she needed to go to
therapy. It
therapy.
was just so annoying. Not live in the forest.
Yeah. Maybe spend, like, a little time in prison and then therapy and then forest. How about that?
Exactly. Or even better, a mental hospital. Get her 5150'd. Actually, don't get 5150'd. I know that doesn't help at all, right? Getting Baker acted.
Yeah. But she needed some sort of help.
It just traumatized people more. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I feel like... in the recent... Now, speaking of, I know that Japan is, like, in mental health is not well discussed over there.
At the forefront.
Yeah, but
of dealing with mental health issues.
In the recent chapters, there's a new girl working at the tea shop, and she does say that she has anxiety, which I'm like, you know what? She said it. Good for her. Instead of just being a nervous wreck, she actually says she has anxiety, and I'm like, thank you for not just being clumsy for being clumsy. I know that, like, having anxiety doesn't make you clumsy, but, like, her being able to verbalize it and say it is, like, a good thing.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention. So we established that Issei is rich, right? The male lead, but he's his family runs a traditional Japanese style inn, a ryokan, and this tea shop is part of the ryokan.
Yes.
And the older brother is a manager, like he manages the ryokan. Issei is still a high schooler. He's kind of in his rebellious age, right? So he's always been compared to his perfect older brother. His brother was like a prep student, right? So that's like kind of their dynamic. I think it's important to note.
Yeah, and they're not very close as brothers.
If they were, you probably would have seen Crazy Bitch at some time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think we should get into so after they live happily ever after in the forest, the story does continue.
They don't live happily, yeah. I like to imagine that they died in the forest to start because they don't know how to live in the forest.
Wow. The next arc is, I think, what would you call it? The confession arc, maybe?
It's more slice of life-y.
Yeah, it definitely, like, calms down. It was high drama there for a long time, and then it calms down. And then we get introduced to another man, because romance can't go forward unless there's another man.
They should have just kept the older brother, honestly, like the mangaka. Like, and she should just had him try to be in the picture versus having this random guy pop up.
No, I disagree with that because Hayame made it very clear many times that she wasn't interested in him, and he finally got it. If she kept saying no, and he was kept being like, but what if? I feel like that would have gotten really annoying. It already was annoying when he
That's very true.
kept trying to pursue her. But now we have this other guy who is from a rival hotel chain who is like he's originally there to try to get
He's such a douche.
Yeah, he's originally there trying to get info on Seigo, the older brother. And he's like, oh, Hayame must be this woman here must be his weakness. So he's like trying to, like, I don't know, win her over. And then, of course, instead of winning her over, she's like, no, what the heck are you doing? He's like, oh no, I've fallen for you. Classic
Because
shoujo.
no woman has ever treated me this way.
No woman has ever told me no. But it is because of him and it's mentioned actually.
It kind of triggers.
Yeah. Hayame, first of all, Hayame is like, these two people are, like, Issei and whatever this guy's name is. They're kind of similar. But they're not, but they are, you know. But his involvement does, like, trigger something. Because the tensions between Hayame and Issei have been ramping up as they're both attracted to each other. And they're both, like, Issei's like, I like you. And Hayame's like, I shouldn't like you because I'm older than you. And then complicated feelings. And then this older guy gets involved and he's just, like, stirring the pot. Which eventually leads to the most recent chapters, which have a confession.
Finally.
Hayame, it's really funny because it's all in the car and they're all both shouting at each other from cars. But Hayame is the one who admits that she's in love with him. And then Issei is just like, you know what? Let's get married. When I turn 18. I think I did yell when I read that.
Oh yeah, it was so cute.
It was.
They're so cute.
It's a really funny and cute series. Overall, just like
Somebody labeled this series as shonen. How dare they? This is a shoujo series.
It sure is. If anything, I'd be more likely to call it josei, but definitely not shonen.
I mean, it's not. I mean, they're not demographic. It's a demographic, right? Not a genre.
Right.
It's published in a shoujo magazine.
Right. But
it is published in Ura Sunday Joshibu. Does it give some josei vibes? Yeah. Does it give some shonen vibes? Yeah. But it is not either one. It is a shoujo.
Let's hear it for shoujo.
Woo!
Yeah! Thank you. I hope you applauded along.
I did. You guys should have too, people listening.
I guess. Have anything else to add? Do you have any favorite scenes or anything?
Honestly, when she was homeless, I thought it was so funny, like her and the homeless guy. He was creepy. He was awful. But I like how they had that little camaraderie growing, and she was just chilling in, like, the playground. The playground was so sad when, like, it turns out that's, like, where she and her ex-husband would, like, meet up or something, and he didn't think of going there because he's trash.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't think it's, like, a specific place, like, she would, like, purposely go to, but, like, everything was thought out so well by the mangaka.
Yeah. My favorite scenes are always the ones where, Hayame is slapping or hitting someone. I have many of them saved on my phone, many of those pictures. I also really love the way the, mangaka draws that, like, super angry face that's, like, dead in the eyes. You know the one? I love it. So scary.
I love how in the recent chapters he was like, we're getting married.
Yeah, he keeps telling everyone, this is my future wife. Check it out. And she's like, chill.
What?
It's just, I think this is a very cute series that everyone should give a chance.
I mean, there's always, like, some judging, right, with, like, age gaps. I will never trust teacher-student, but, I mean, there's always the exception.
Yes, this age gap is Shoujo-Verse approved. Gets our stamp of
Yes,
approval.
we got everybody to read it in the server.
Yeah.
I remember like recommending this way back and then finding out you also read it, and then because it started getting translated again, like out of
Yes.
and then what's her name? Danny started reading it, and then we got Azayan and Sho-chan to read it. They were supposed to join us today, but unfortunately, Azayan has fallen to the illness.
What? Did you just make it sound like she died? She's not dead.
Not yet. I mean, that's awful.
Sumo, what are you doing?
I know, she's I'm trying to backpedal so fast. She is physically okay, but not 100% okay. She is doing her best.
And Sho is doing her best too.
Dying.
What's with you and death? Alright.
Like, Sho-chan's also not dying. She's just busy. Do you have anything else to add? Do you want to just talk about other series, or do you just want to wrap it up here?
Oh, we could do, like, what else we're enjoying.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was the main series we've been enjoying on Komiki.
Yeah.
This is not sponsored by Komiki. Komiki, if you are listening, we would love to be seen by, noticed by us.
New chapters come out Saturday and Sunday every week.
And they're free. Free.
They're free for,
Don't
like, the first...
go to the pirate sites.
They're free for, like, the first
Just
hour.
read them on the site.
Yeah.
No, they're free for the entire weekend.
Really?
Like, I can read, like, I read, like, they're usually free for the entire week until the new chapter comes out.
Oh, shit. Even better.
Which is really nice. It's kind of like what Shonen Jump does with, like, their chapters.
Yes. Shonen Jump
This
is
is really nice.
a good app. And Komiki, you're doing good, too.
Is getting there. I believe in you, Komiki. Just make me be able to log in on the app using my Google account. That's all I ask.
I'm sure they're working on it. As for other series, I have, jumped back into the historical isekai romance fantasy. You know, I took a break for a little while, and then
Welcome back.
I dove in head first. The Lady and the Beast. You know that one?
Mm-hmm.
I've been enjoying that one.
That's the... okay, yeah, the red-haired lady one.
Yeah.
She's kind of mean, though.
I don't really feel like she's mean. She's just, like, blunt.
Yeah, it's true. Wait, this is the wolf lady, right? Where she, like, and he's, like, kind of, like, cleaning around... It's, like, the kind of reversed, right? Like, the roles. Where, like, usually... Or am I thinking of a different one? I think I am. I'm sorry. There's so many. There's just so many.
She's reincarnated, and he's, like, a wolf beast that she turns back into human. With a kiss.
Wow.
It's cute.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else. There's another similar one where I think she also has red hair. I forgot the title.
They always either have red hair or white. Or pink.
Or black hair with the red eyes.
That's always the
Half
male
albino.
lead. Those are for the men.
It's true. Pink hair, red hair, blonde hair. Never black hair. That's too close to being Korean. They have to look somewhat different from their original life. The one I'm thinking of, I can't remember the title, but basically, it's kind of like a gender roles reversed kind of thing. It's not an isekai or like a reincarnation one. But basically, there's like there's the male lead, and then there's a female lead. The female lead's very like gruff, blunt. She has like her own like she's in like this ice queen type persona. He's like a princess kind of like he's very what do you call it? He's stupid, but he's kind of like a bit of like a tsundere. He's kind of similar to Issei. No,
not a himbo.
He's not a himbo. He's just stupid. He's like how Issei is like stupid, but not a himbo.
An idiot.
Yeah, pretty much. And he tries to like he doesn't want to get married to someone or something, and so the king decides to get him married to her. Like he like arranges them to be together. But it was like some weird, the emperor has a crush on the lady, and he thought that, if he got the dumb guy to marry her, they could get divorced, and then he could, like, swoop in. The Emperor's stupid, too. All the men in this series are so stupid. But it's, like, the female lead is just gruff. The male lead is kind of, like, fluffy, and he decides to decorate the castle, and, like, you know, like, the typical, like, female lead stuff where... Oh, you're living in such drab environment. Let me try to fix things up for you and, like, make things better around where you're living. Like, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I read it. I mean, it was stupid. It was, like, just one of those, like, the historical webtoons that don't really have, like, substance. They're just kind of there for fluff.
So much of them. So many.
Mm-hmm. I still read them. I enjoy them.
Oh, speaking of... Okay, hold on. Historical webtoons... I'm thinking about My Gently Raised Beast. I love that one.
It's so cute.
It's like Blondina. Again, I love female leads who have a spine.
This
Blondina has a spine. She will stand up. And I love that.
The only thing I don't like about the series is I'm tired of, like, the tan, slightly wild characters that keep on popping up in webtoons.
Yeah.
They're so like... And it's always the tan characters.
Yeah, it is.
It's really annoying.
It does feel a little bit, dare I say, racist.
You wouldn't be wrong. There's this one webtoon that's on Manta right now. It's like a... It was so bad. Let me try to remember the name. But, like, I saw the Facebook ad for it, and it's like, female lead waxing changed her life. She's tan, and she's, like, described as, like, a beast.
Bruh.
See, there's this, The Bow and the Beast, that's the title. Like, I read a couple of chapters of it. I give things a chance. Like, I'm always happy to be proved wrong, that it's, like, not stupid, but it was really bad.
You hate to see it. Oh, I have seen this one. So she's tan.
It's so bad. So, like, she's hairy. She was cursed to be hairy, and she's, like, tan, right? But the thing is, her family's not tan. Like, her family's white. So, like, her curse is basically to be dark and hairy. And, like, those are just stereotypes of, like, darker skin POC. It's not a good look.
Yeah, that is a little bit problematic.
And the story's not good either, so there's nothing to forgive.
So, what you're saying is to skip that one?
Yeah, skip it. But on Manta, there's other really good series. Since I'm already on the app, I'll recommend my favorite series on the app. Komiki, I know this is just for you, but I will mention Manta, because it's also a good app.
Manta, if you're listening.
Literally. This is a BL, I don't know if anybody is interested, but it's called Bongchon Bride. It's a historical Korean romance. It takes place in feudal Korea, and the two male leads are, like, not rich or poor, they're both, like, not servants, they're both poor. One's a former servant, and the other guy's just a farmer. Stuff happens. It's very cute, very wholesome. I recommend. The other series I've been liking on Manta is called I Raised a Black Dragon.
I'm reading that one too.
I want to say it's so good. It's easily the best series on Manta. Because they don't pick good series.
Ooh.
No offense to Manta if you're listening.
Yeah.
Also, the Center View is a good BL. They've picked up good BLs, they just haven't picked up good straight romances. Except I Raised a Black Dragon, which is good. Oh. And I guess the famous one that Manta's mostly known for, Under the Oak Tree. Which is okay, it's not bad. But it's not it's not my favorite.
I've been reading Under the Oak Tree too, and I just want to know what's gonna happen when she finally breaks and tells him. Because he will find out.
Yeah, that's what we're all waiting for. That's literally why I'm still keeping up, because I just want him to go mad and just wipe out her dad. Yes. That's all I want to see. I want to see him bitch slap the dad and murder him.
Yes, I need that.
That's all I want. 100%. That's all I want. That's the only conclusion I need.
I think
I don't care about anything else.
I've actually read part of the web novel, and then I took a break and I came back, and there was I stopped at 50 chapters, and I came back and there were 200, and I was like, whoa. But
they just sold it on Kindle recently, the novel, the English translation.
Yes, I saw that.
And it was only $2.
Yeah, but it's also only 30 chapters.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I know the capitalism at it again.
Yeah. I really like that one too. But I will say the web novel parts that I read were much spicier. The webtoon is censored.
I don't understand that. Because it's a smut novel. Like, there's no, like, ands, ifs, or buts about it. There's butts touching. The manga has no butts touching. It's they just cut out all this, everything. The like, the original novel is just a smut. And then somehow they decided to make a webtoon that's not smut. I just don't understand, like, where the logic went, you know?
I don't think it's 100.
And the same thing with
I don't think it's 100% smut, but there is quite a bit of it. It's definitely, you have to go in to the novel expecting it.
Yeah, because if you just read it coming from the webtoon, you'll be surprised.
Yes.
It's like the first chapter they're doing it. And it's not exactly consensual either. That's what I didn't like about it. But I think that's the only scene. Actually, no. Yeah, there were some things about the series I didn't like.
I just want to see him get mad.
Mm-hmm.
For her.
Yeah, that's all I want. Speaking of other novels I've been reading, some Japanese novels I've enjoyed are Hello, I Am a Witch, and My Crush Wants Me to Make a Love Potion. It's very cute.
Let me guess what it's about.
Go for it. You should also try to guess the female lead's hair. There's a good chance you'll get it right.
Oh, okay, hold on. She's clearly a witch, and the male lead...
No way.
Asked her to make a love potion, right?
Yes.
Let me guess. Red hair.
No.
Is it white?
No.
What?
But close.
That means it must be pink.
Yes. Do you want to try to guess the male lead's profession?
Is he a prince?
No.
An emperor?
No.
A count?
No. Here's a hint. He's not in a position of that type of power. I think he might actually be like a count or something similar, but that's not his main profession.
Not in that kind of power. Oh, here's a picture. Is he a mage?
No.
Yeah. You're gonna say it and I'm gonna be like, obviously.
He's a knight.
Oh, obviously.
But it's really cute. She had a crush on him for a while. She lives in like a hut in the middle of a lake or something. But I mean, the series is cute. There's also a manga adaptation for it too. I don't remember. I think it's been licensed. I don't remember.
I feel
also,
like I've
My
seen
Happy
it.
Marriage is also another recent J novel that I've been enjoying. The art's really pretty, and the manga it has a manga adaptation that's also very pretty. If you see the art, you'll think it's pretty. Oh, do you want to try to guess what it's about? My Happy Marriage. It's not like Happy
You're not
Mary.
talking about Happy Mari, right?
I'm not.
Oh. I feel like I've seen this one. It's... Oh, I have seen this one.
It's really pretty.
It is. You know what I think is cruel? Was when the novels, web novels or whatever, have such beautiful covers, and then the webtoon comes around, and I know the webtoon can't like keep up the same quality as a novel cover, but
it's so disappointing.
Yeah, it's just like name brand versus Walmart.
No, literally. There's only like a couple that actually like have like the same standard of beauty. So they managed to keep up from like the novel and the webtoon. Like Fantasy of a Stepmother obviously has gorgeous art.
Oh, love it.
What side there? I'm just going through my list. I mean, I read the Black Dragon one also has very pretty art. Like, it's not the same type of art, but I really like the art style.
A lot of times when I'm doing I'm editing the video for YouTube, and someone says the name, I'll like put in the picture of the series that we're talking about. A lot of times I'll just search it on Google and I will go with the novel cover because it's just so much prettier than the webtoon cover.
Yeah, I don't blame you because, like, let's be honest, sometimes the art is so bad, especially when they just use like the Clip Studio Paint, like the, what do you call it?
3D assets.
They all use the same program too. That makes it worse. They just use the same program. They use the same backgrounds. They use the same models.
It's always the same fucking castle.
Literally, the same 3D model castle.
Yeah.
The same horses.
Oh my god, every single horse is just copy-pasted in the exact same place. And I'm like, I know you are on a time crunch, but oh my god, it drives me nuts.
Like, I don't blame them. Like it's a money, like, the money. I understand, like, you're all but please, just change the horse a little bit. Don't make it so obvious you're like, sometimes they don't even trace it.
Yeah,
they just leave it. Just trace it. The bare minimum. Like, anyways, don't even draw it on your own. Just trace it properly. That's all we ask.
Anyways, we're quite a bit off topic.
Very off topic. Azan was like, are you guys even talking about Promise Cinderella? Like, excuse me, Azan, you are not even here to talk. You're not one to say anything.
Thank you everyone for listening. Let us know what you guys think of Promise Cinderella. Are you reading? Did we convince you to read?
Please read it. I know sometimes we go off topic, but please read it on Comic-y. It's free every weekend and for a week.
It's very cute, and I think all of you would enjoy it. Thank you for listening.
For sure.
To this episode. Catch us next week on Into the Shoujo-Verse. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Into the Shoujo-Verse. Make sure to follow us on social media to keep up to date on our newest episodes. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Shoujo-Verse, TikTok at The Shoujo-Verse, and YouTube at Into the Shoujo-Verse. Thanks so much.